think anytime you experience sort of pain or hurt or, something from a certain situation going into it again, you're definitely, a little, you've got a guard up. So I think I've definitely been the type of person to always have one up, but I think, maybe more so now. But I don't know, there will be somebody that comes along that knocks it down.
No more I love you until I'm okay.
I do want to talk about this new project with you. It's called Half Written Story. It's out now. What was it like to release this amid a pandemic? I mean, did you find obstacles, challenges? And I know you did push it back by a week initially.
Yeah, well, it actually had been, pushed for more than that, unbeknownst to my fans. It's been a long time coming, as far as, obviously putting the project together and then releasing it. Definitely had mixed feelings about the timing of things. But I do feel that music has such a unique ability of connecting people and bringing people joy and happiness. It's such a huge form of release for me.
Guess I was crazy to give you my body, my mind. Don't know what I was thinking to know. Everyone thinks that you're somebody else. You even convinced yourself.
You do get very personal on this project. It's in the lyrics, and I'm just curious what it's like to have your story out there now.
I mean, it's equally as terrifying as it is sort of, exciting and liberating. I guess there are artists and songs that I relate to, and I think it's because of how transparent and honest that person is being. There's so many songs that I'll listen to and think, oh my God, like, I never listened to this song this way before, had I, and I wouldn't have had I not gone through what I went through. So I do think it's just having the courage to be able to speak your truth. And one thing I love about having released these records is that I've had so many people write to me or, talk to me about how they went through similar situations or they felt exactly what I might have been feeling when I wrote a specific lyric. And they tell me that I make them feel less alone. And the reality for me is that putting it out there is obviously very scary, but at the end of the day, they sort of, I guess, truly make me feel like I'm not alone in what I was going through, which is pretty special.
L is for the way you lied to me. O is I'm the only one who sees I've been so vindictive, so I'll be vicious.
When you're writing these lyrics and telling your story, does it help you to process the emotions that you are going through? Do you look at songwriting as a way to sort of overcome certain things?
I do. I mean, I definitely think writing in general has always been something I've done, whether it was something that no one saw or heard or, the opposite. I've always found it to be very sort of cathartic. But yeah, I mean, it is really, it's really amazing when you get to turn it into song form and one that's good enough for people to listen to. So that's always pretty rewarding.
And it's so gut-wrenching, falling in the wrong direction.
You said it's terrifying and exciting, but you did say terrifying. So I'm curious, was there ever any hesitation on your end about putting some of these songs out?
Not really. I mean, no, I wouldn't say hesitation. Obviously there was the, nervousness that comes with releasing anything you're proud of or have put, a certain amount of, yourself and your time and your energy into. But I made a promise and a commitment to myself when it came to writing this project that I was going to be as honest as I could for me. And I figured, listen, if there's anything I want to change, I can always change it. No one will ever know, because that's something we could do. But I didn't. I was really happy with, everything I said. And I do feel like at the end of the day, these records were written at a time where or over the course of a time where one day I was really angry and frustrated. And the next day I was feeling so alone and isolated and introverted. And the next it's like a little bit more empowered and a little bit more confident and sort of starting to gain, you know, myself back. And I just love that I was able to accomplish all of those emotions that I was going through in, you know, a small body of work.
It's funny that you bring that up, because I noticed like such a range of emotion, like from song to song. In one song you say like, my brother hates you, my mother hates you, my father and sister too. I don't even have a sister, but if I did, she'd hate you. But then in Wrong Direction, you say you don't hate that person.
I don't hate you. No, I couldn't if I wanted to.
What did you learn about love and like the intense emotions that come with love while you were writing this?
Well, I think every love is different. Every relationship is different. And sometimes a person is a certain way in a relationship versus outside of that relationship. And sometimes you get to know both sides of that person. I guess I just learned how important it is to be honest and realistic with yourself. I think a lot of times, I mean, I've been in situations where I will choose to ignore certain things I know deep down aren't necessarily right, or don't make me feel the way I know I deserve or should feel. And then beyond that, you know, you start to sort of try and find things that can distract you from the pain that you're feeling. And again, yeah, I guess it's just like, I've learned not to ignore that and trust your instincts and trust yourself and, you know that it's okay to feel what you're feeling. It's not wrong.
Love is wild.
It sure is.
No more I love you until I'm okay.
You of course say in I love yous, like, no more I love yous until I'm okay. Are you okay now?
I'm so good. And I love that song so much. And I kind of love to think of that one as like the thesis statement of the project, because that's kind of how it all started. I realized that for the first time, the only thing that was going to make me feel okay was time and time to focus on myself and sort of regain my, what's the word I'm looking for? Just sense of self, I guess.
Do you want to find love again in the future? Like, are you more hesitant? Do you feel like you have those walls up? And what kind of are you looking for now that you've learned so much?
I mean, yeah, for sure. Because wild as love can be, it is pretty awesome. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily looking. I always think that, and at least in my life, it's proven to be true more than once, that, you know, kind of comes when you're not looking for it, you know? But as far as like having a guard up, I think that's always been the kind of person I am and have been forever with any relationship. But I do think that, yeah, I mean, I've definitely, I think anytime you experience sort of pain or hurt or, you know, something from a certain situation, going into it again, you're definitely, you're definitely a little, you've got a guard up. So I think I've definitely been the type of person to always have one up. But I think, yeah, maybe more so now. But I don't know, there will be somebody that comes along that knocks it down.
Tour plans. Were there tour plans in place that you were working on? And what does that look like now?
Luckily, there were no tour dates in place. Obviously, just a bunch of promo runs and a lot of traveling. And I'm not entirely sure what that looks like now. I don't know that really anybody has the answer, which is, you know, it's crazy. I feel very lucky that I was able to put the music out and people are listening to it and enjoying it. And I would do anything and everything to perform these new songs live. So whenever that may be, however it may be, hopefully it happens sooner than later.
Were there talks of you possibly performing at Loverfest? I know you and Taylor are friends. You guys are also label mates.
Yeah, no, no, but that sounds incredible. She's obviously amazing. And that album it's perfect. She just, I don't know how she manages to outdo herself every single time, but she does. It's
I know.
amazing.
Well, before we wrap things up, going back to the EP, it is called Half Written Story. So what does the other half of your story look like if it were up to you?
Oh, if it were up to me. The other half of my story is still being written, and I'm still figuring out what that is. Figuring it out as I go. But just living my life, taking my time, doing me. Whatever happens, happens, and I write about it. So soon to find out.
Did you, when you put the album out, did you get any sort of apology phone call, angry phone calls?
No, I got nothing. I got a lot of fans showing me a lot of love.